Our dream was to reach the African continent entirely by land via the Middle East and experience a transition from one scene and culture to another. Just like Istanbul, Egypt is spread over 2 continents. The tunnel under the Suez Canal connects the Sinai Peninsula on the Asian side with Africa on the other. Cairo was chaos and a typical example of bureaucratic stagnation. When we were stuck in traffic, I would think back to the incredible diving experience in the Red Sea and the thousands of colorful fish we encountered. We were all too happy to exchange city pollution for desert dust and follow in the footsteps of the Pharaoh. As I stood by the pyramids of Giza, I couldn't help imagining how thousands of slaves had spent their miserable lives carrying the huge and heavy stones to build these masterpieces. Napoleon estimated that there would be enough stones in the 3 main pyramids alone to build a wall of 3 meters high all around France. The mysterious Sphinx near the Pyramid of Chephren is 7 stories high and as long as an Olympic swimming pool. The River Nile has always been the lifeline of Egypt and the Sudan. For thousands of years it has flowed through this unforgiving desert, creating life and culture on its fertile banks. Discovering the many remainders of this high culture as we followed the Nile almost felt like being in a time machine. It's not only the temples and the hieroglyphs that gave us a sense of the past, but also the farmers that were plowing the land with oxen in exactly the same way as it was done 1,000 years ago. The Nile continued a lazy S through stone desert. We stumbled upon the small yet beautiful pyramids of the Kingdom of Meroe. We were in the absolute middle of nowhere and couldn't believe our eyes when we saw a group of vendors. When I asked if they received many visitors, the answer was, "Oh yes, plenty. The last time was only 6 months ago." Here we experienced true desert hospitality. The women would not only prepare food and bring me tea, but felt that as a traveler I ought to have a nap and a massage while someone else washed our laundry. Paul was utterly shocked to find me in a state of supreme relaxation while he was fixing the landy. We were 4 months on the road when we received the sad news that Paul's dad had passed away. 2 days later, we were on a plane to Belgium to attend his funeral. In spite of being devastated by this great loss, we flew back to the Sudan a week later. Paul looked down at the desert below and knew that his destiny lay in Africa. What if you don't know how to get your focus right? I mean, when you're taking a picture? We were in the Nubian desert when Paul asked me to take a picture of a group of women on a hill. He was driving and I had to do it fast. Not being used to his camera, I missed the shot. Paul was furious, and as a response to his unfair reaction, I wanted to throw his camera out of the window. Instead, I grabbed his jar of marmalade and threw that one out. To my disappointment, he hadn't noticed, so I told him. Beyond himself, he braked like a maniac and screamed hysterically when I refused to go and get it. Totally upset, I slammed my fist into the windscreen. When I saw cracks spreading to all sides, I thought I'd better go and fetch the marmalade. It seems there was much more to living our dream than I imagined.